Hello, Jab family. Welcome on board to another episode. And today we are so excited to have you here. We are going to be discussing something really spicy, and trust me, you want to be a part of it.
Oh yeah.
First of all, before we go into the topic we have for you today, we'd love to appreciate every new subscriber to our channel. Thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for joining the family. We are so glad and happy to have you on board. My name is Abigail, and this is my beloved husband, Joshua, and we are the Jab couple. Today, we're going to be talking about virginity, a loss of opportunity. You'd agree with me that a lot of people have categorized abstinence as a loss of opportunity. Like, they believe if you are not engaging in sex with your partner, they believe you're missing out on a lot of things.
You're a novice.
Yeah, like you're a novice, like you're naive. You're missing out on a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
So really, is that myth true? I mean, is it true? How do we justify that, that belief system? In today's episode, we are going to be breaking things down into three different categories.
Yeah.
The first is having sex to keep your partner.
Mm-hmm.
The second is having sex to prove your sexual prowess. Mm-hmm. And the third is having sex to validate fertility.
Powerful.
You see these three reasons. These are reasons that drive people to engage when they shouldn't be engaging. And it's funny how Christians, children of God, also fall victim to these three reasons.
Yeah, that's killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Killed a lot of destinies.
Mm-hmm.
And this lies from the pit of hell
Mm-hmm.
has spread across board.
True.
This has pushed young ladies to want to explore because of the lies
Yeah.
they've been told.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're very, very correct. So we're going to take it from the very first one, having sex to keep a partner. And a lot of people have been fed with lies, especially ladies. My gender. A lot of people have been fed with lies.
Your gender love lies.
Really,
They love lies a lot.
Like having partners, a partner telling you that if you love me, you're gonna let me have my way. You're gonna have sex with me to prove that you love me. But really, is sex a proof of love? It's something that brings two people, closer to each other. But does it prove that you love someone or that you're in love with a person? If it's a proof of love, then trust me, we wouldn't even have prostitution running as a business, right? Because everybody that such a person sleeps with will actually be for love, right? So we need to really ask ourselves real question: Is sex a proof of love? So when we came together, I'd love to bring this into how it concerns us as a couple. So when we came together, it was one of those things that we actually put on the table, right? Like, okay, is premarital sex a part of the activities we're going to be engaging in? And trust me, it was a no from both parties. Why? Because we aligned. Our belief systems, our values as individuals aligned in that aspect, right? It was a no for us. Why? Because we don't have to prove anything to each other. Right. He wasn't asking me to prove my love to him by giving him my body, and I wasn't asking him to give me his body as a proof of love, because we believe that more than sex, beyond sex, there are other ways to prove if we both love each other genuinely.
Yes.
Right. And of course, you can have sex with a person and still not genuinely love the person. Right. So I think this is one mindset that we need to correct out there. So if you are a believer and you are engaging in sex with your partner in order to prove your love to them, trust me, there is a high tendency that same person is still going to walk away from your life.
Very, very high. The percentage is 200%.
Right.
Over 100.
So having sex with your partner does not prove that you love them or that they love you or that they will keep or they will stay committed to you. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove love. There are other ways to prove love.
There are so many ways to prove love.
So many ways to prove that you actually love your partner without indulging in premarital sex, right? And if you're married, you can actually engage in order to bond with your partner and to show them that you appreciate them, appreciate their body and all of that. But when you're not married, come on, it doesn't prove anything, trust me. Yeah. So the second one goes to you.
Yes, sex was the purpose of sex was for marriage.
True.
And not outside marriage.
Yeah.
So I'm always directing this to ladies, to women. A lot of them have been lied to. A man that tells you he loves you because of sex, that same man is also telling another lady that he loves her because of sex, and the chain keeps on, going. So if you believe a man that says he loves you because I've had sex with you, that means you yourself are not true to yourself.
True.
Because sex can never and would never keep a man.
At all.
It can't keep a man. So if a man come and meet you and tell you if I have sex with you, that's when the love will grow. I used to have a friend. This used to be his line. Don't worry, let's just have this sex. Once we have this sex, my love for you will grow, will increase. Or someone that they'll tell you, okay, I need to have sex with you before taking you to see my parents.
Yeah, true.
Which is a big line.
And you just said that the parents' visits never happens.
Never happens.
So I don't remember a time when you gave me a condition of having sex with you to prove that.
No. It shouldn't have been beautiful. We have had sex. Right. Our first night was. Let me just pause. It was so beautiful. Imagine we've explored, before our first night. So it shouldn't have been special anymore.
True.
Shouldn't have been special.
Yeah. And this brings us to the second one,
yeah.
Which is centered on having sex to prove your sexual prowess. So there are people that want to prove that this person she goes sabidu for marriage. Yeah, it's funny. I have encountered a lot of people, especially ladies that will tell you, I don't go feel marry am. I got check whether I go sabidu. I got check whether I would be satisfied before I took head.
And this one is common with ladies. They want to test. They want to see if the man can actually satisfy them, before they come in.
And they end up testing 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. So at the end of the day, when they eventually get married to one and it doesn't meet their expectations,
they start craving.
Or they even start comparing to the 5th one or the 6th one.
Yes.
Like it's funny. What exactly are we testing? And it also applies to guys too. You have the ones that will tell you they want to check, they want to sample different types of body shapes and sizes, And it's just funny, really. What exactly are we trying to prove? You want to prove your partners or your spouse to be sexual prowess, and what happens if it doesn't meet your expectations? Then you sample many others before you actually get the right one, and at the end of the day you ruin the beautiful experience you were meant to have with your partner in marriage. Because if that person doesn't meet up to your expectation, what happens is you start rewinding. Your mind automatically starts remembering the ones that have satisfied you more than that person in the past. And you start ruining the beautiful thing you have going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really sad.
True.
Because we will keep on exploring and exploring and exploring.
And never find satisfaction.
And we never find satisfaction. At the end of the day, you end up ruining your own marriage.
True.
If you get married and your partner is not strong, what happens to you teaching her?
Right.
You understand? Someone was telling me a story of a guy who got married to a virgin. Just because each time he has sex with a lady, she takes in. Each time he has sex with a lady, she takes in. So he was becoming fed up that I don't understand. Why will you take in each time I have sex with you? Forgetting that he married the lady as a virgin. You understand? And we have a lot of virgins that they don't care about educating themselves.
Sex education.
Sex education before marriage. If you meet someone like that, what stops you from educating them? On what to do? You understand? Communication is key.
Right.
He ended up cheating on the lady, and at the end of the day, they got a divorce. He ruined the marriage. You understand?
Yeah.
So when it comes to sex, it's important that you understand your partner, a weakness.
Yeah.
You understand? So you can teach her.
Yeah.
Since you're a pro.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny the reasons people attach to indulging in premarital sex. It's really funny. I remember when we started out as a married couple.
Yeah.
Right. So personally, I haven't explored before.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are so many things that I had to gain knowledge about. Even as a virgin in my 30s alone. And I mean, it's something I'm actually proud of because it gives me so much joy and confidence right now when I reflect, on the decision I made even while I was single, right? Because I have, the kind of stability I want to experience in my spiritual life and in my walk with God. And I was more focused on the mandate placed on me than, having fun, right? So it gives me so much fulfillment now because of the impact that decision has brought about today in my life, in my marriage, and in the lives of so many other people out there, right? So I mean, there are so many things I started gaining knowledge about before I got married, just to prepare myself, for what is about to come, especially in the area of sex education, and it came in handy eventually, right? And these are ways. There are a lot of options. You shouldn't see it as a disadvantage or a reason, a leverage for you to fall back, into sexual sin because you want to be up to date, you want to be experienced. Trust me, there are many ways to gain that experience without compromising in your work with God or without venturing into sexual or premarital sex.
Yeah, that's very correct. And marrying my wife as a virgin, was one of the sweetest thing. When she talks about sex, sometimes I'll be like, has she explored? Before we got married, when she talks about sex education, I'll be like, this lady, is she truly a virgin? I keep on asking that question until that first day when I, proved when I confirmed my curiosity. You understand? So I was after that first night, I was not asking her, babe, so truly you're a virgin.
So you did not believe?
No, it's not as if I did not believe. But when you hear a virgin talking about sex, it will be like,
yeah.
I don't understand.
So I usually tell him, I'll tell him, see, every sexual knowledge I have ever had, teaching people, educating people, even counseling married couples. But now I had a lot of married couples in my community, that, we're going through one thing or the other in their sexual life, and I'll be like, okay, do it this way, engage this, engage that.
Yeah.
They know I wasn't married as at that time. They know I wasn't married, but they still come to me, and sometimes they keep telling other people going through the same thing to reach out to me, reach out to her. She was the one that shared this, shared that, shared this, reach out to her. And funny how it was working. That was not just by luck, it was actually by knowledge and by grace, I must tell you. So I do a lot of learning personally when it comes to these things. And not just that, I also pray for the grace and the wisdom to pass on that knowledge to people who may be in need of it. So when we met and we were always talking about these things, and I talk about it, he'll be like, you're a virgin. I mean, you told me you are, I believe you are, but the way you talk about these things, I don't know, and he'll be like, wow, the way you talk about these things. So after our first night together, he was like, he always calls me a corrupt.
She's a corrupt virgin. No, she's a corrupt virgin. I mean,
corrupt in a good way.
In a good way.
So I mean, it's important that you prepare yourself the right way. If you're ready to get married, have a partner you want to settle down with, prepare yourself in the right way. Go for knowledge. Pray for wisdom and guidance. Seek counsel. So we went for counseling before our marriage. And all of these things were discussed during the course of the counseling. So there are many ways to get knowledge on this topic.
You're making me remember those counselors.
Oh, God.
Those counselors are so raw. I'm very strict.
I mean, but it was worth it.
It was worth
we
it.
enjoyed the journey about 6 months.
6 months.
6 months, We enjoyed the journey, and it was beautiful because it uncovered a lot of things, and we're able to, study a lot of things in detail. A lot of things we have just ignored and walked over. We're able to pay attention to those things, and it's helping us right now. So, guys, there are so many ways to gain knowledge about sex, around sex, without compromising yourself, without giving into pressure. There's nothing to prove. You're not proving anything, right? So, lastly, we're gonna talk about indulging in premarital sex to prove fertility.
Was that what we talked about? I think that's what we talked about now.
No, fertility.
Okay. Yeah.
So what do you have to say about that? I mean, does engaging in premarital sex actually prove that the person? I mean, is it even right? Is it right to engage in premarital sex to prove if the partner you want to marry is fertile or not before you go ahead?
a woman once said that to know if a woman is fertile, according to her language, naka. Again. In that way, you go confirm say she be fertile. But trust me, that is a lie from the pit of hell.
Yes.
You don't need to prove your fertility to anybody. Childbearing, God said, go to the world and multiply. It's a promise, and it's surely going to fulfill this promise. It will fulfill it. So why proving yourself to a man that you are fertile before getting into that marriage? Is a lie.
From the pit of
any mother-in-law, any man, mother-in-law most times pressure their sons into these things, to prove the fertility, and it's very, very wrong. I can't imagine my mom, pressuring me into such.
So here's the thing. I mean, it's just about knowing who you are and what you stand for as a person.
Your values.
Your values as a person. When you know those things, when you can define who you are and what you stand for as a person, nobody can pressure you into anything. There's nobody that can pressure me now into proving if I'm fertile or not before getting married to you. If you want to prove, just look for someone else that will prove you right or wrong. As far as I'm concerned, my foundation is based on the word of God. And that alone is enough for me.
It's enough.
Have you thought about people that are actually fertile, but eventually got into the marriage and nothing happens?
Nothing happens.
Okay, what about those that maybe prove that they were actually fertile, they got pregnant, and maybe along the line lost the pregnancy, and then they got married, they got pregnant, then got married because now they've proved that they are both fertile. They got married, and then maybe a miscarriage happened along the line, and since then, maybe 5 years, 6 years, 7, nothing is happening. Who do we blame? See, these things are mysteries. These things are miracles we shouldn't be questioning. It's more like you're trying to question God.
Yes.
God has ordained these things, then trust Him enough, right? So trying to prove that one person is fertile or not, before going into marriage,
it's a waste of time.
It's actually a waste of time, and actually is of no use. There are people that have had one child and then they enter the waiting season before having the second child.
Yes.
So a lot of things are happening. So just trust God and protect your values as a person, right? Don't let anyone pressure you into doing something wrong in order to prove what is not. Trust me, the wait is always worth it.
The wait is always worth it. Always worth it.
Yeah.
Always worth it. And I mean, I'm glad I waited. I'm glad we both waited. There was no pressure, both from parents. Our parents are, yeah.
I will tell you to bring a man that has proven that. So I mean, that's just basically it, people. You need to be very intentional about these things. Protect your values at all costs, by all means, even if it means breaking a relationship for your values to stand as a Christian, as a child of God. Please break it. The right person
will
that would align with your said values as a Christian will come around. Don't be pressured.
Don't be pressured. Regardless of the age. Yeah. Don't be pressured.
Very important.
Yes, because some people are pressured because of age. You know, their parents will tell them you are getting old. Why not just do what your friends are doing and just get it done and dusted? Don't be pressured. You know, everybody has their own time in life. You understand? So be patient, and I believe everything will fall in place.
Fall in at the right time, and you're not going to regret it.
Yeah.
You're not going to regret it. So I know these things are not easy sometimes, but the grace of God is always sufficient.
Yeah.
If you engage God, if you indulge the Holy Spirit, He'll definitely help you. He'll give you the strength to navigate this, those temptations and trying times. And you come out stronger and as a winner.
Yeah.
All right.
That's very correct.
We hope this video inspires you. Kindly let us know in the comment section.
Are you feeling emotional right now? Is she feeling emotional? Is she feeling emotional? All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I believe you all have learned one or two things from this short video, and I believe that putting it into practice would give you the needed results you need. Like she said, don't be pressured.
True. Sorry to cut you.
No.
I mean, it's when you're talking about it being emotional right now, I just remembered, some scenarios.
Yeah.
It's really a tough fight for a lot of people out there. Trust me, especially ladies.
Yeah.
It's really a tough fight. There are a lot of people that would sometimes just start crying.
Yeah.
Just break down and be like, I'm a Christian.
That's true.
I'm 27, I'm 29, I'm 28. All the guys I'm seeing wants to sleep with me first, before they actually get married, and I'm still standing and protecting my values as a Christian. What do I do? And I'm getting old. It just breaks my heart, but at the same time, I make them understand that God's timing is the best.
It's always the best.
Personally, I thought I was going to get married at 25. In fact, my mind was set at 25. Little did I know I was going to cross 30. Little did I know I was going to be in my 30s. I never saw that coming. If anyone had told me that 6-7 years ago, I would have argued, But here we are right now. And it's happening now because this is God's timing, and it is marvelous in our eyes.
True.
So I want you to hold on to God's promises over your life. It will not fail, no matter how long you have to wait. Protect your values at all costs, and God will reward you for it.
Amen. I'm sure you enjoyed this video.
Yeah.
Make sure you
subscribe,
and like, and drop us a comment about your thoughts on this topic. And stay tuned. Our next video will be super hot, and I think we don't want to miss out on it.
Thank you guys for watching. We look forward to having you next time. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you so much.